Good old AMC stock for the day is down about 0.45%. This is not a big surprise as a lot of other stocks are down as well today. It's really a lot of your large tech stocks that are paving the way for the indices to make those moves higher. The S&P up over 1% and the Nasdaq up over 1.5% here on the day. Now, specifically in this video, I want to talk about AMC. I want to talk about why next week on August 4th or around then or slightly after then, the stock could see a pretty big rally to the upside. There has actually been a lot of downward revisions for AMC earnings over the last 30 days, and we're going to take a look at this article that sums up why I am bullish on AMC stock earnings. That is not to mention what Adam Aron said just a couple of weeks ago about AMC Entertainment pouncing on the short sellers. These are strong words that should not be taken very lightly. After all, Adam Aron and the board of executives at AMC get rewarded when the share price goes higher. So that's ultimately what they want when you boil it all down. So there's a lot we're going to cover here in this video, and I hope by the end of it you guys have a good perspective on what to expect for next week, and specifically just the overall rally that I can see playing out with AMC stock. So let's get into all of this key information. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for doing that. Let's hop straight into it. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description, as well as free stocks also down below in the description. So first thing I want to point out is the broad market activity, because as you guys know, if we have a 3, 4, 5% down day in the markets or a 3, 4, 5% down week, it's very hard for AMC stock to react bullishly to that. It has happened, yes, throughout the month of June, AMC was going up as the stock market was going down, but by and large, on very red days, AMC does not like to perform well. It can happen, like I said, but it doesn't always happen. More times than not, AMC will perform very poorly on those days. Now, what we just got was Fed clarity until at least September. And what the markets know now is that the Fed is going to react to the data. So if the data supports doing more aggressive rate hikes, well, that's what we're going to get. If the data does not support that, if inflation does start to slowly come down or just come down in general, well, we might not get those aggressive rate hikes. And that is really the key here. And that's really what is going to cause the markets to move up or down in a big way, minus any black swan events that we cannot forecast over the next couple of days. If something crazy were to happen, like the Chinese state media talking about shooting down Nancy Pelosi's plane, if something like that happened, well, I cannot sit here and forecast for you guys that information, and that would just be irresponsible to do here on this finance platform. But as far as what we know right now and what we can tell, the markets are in a pretty good spot. We just got earnings from Apple and Amazon. Obviously, that has been taken very well. As long as the data comes in good or supports that we do not need to raise rates as aggressively, I think the markets will be just fine. We don't have another CPI report, at least for the next 1.5 weeks of trading, until around August 11th or August 12th. I think it's August 11th we get the next CPI report. But really, all next week, we're not going to get too much that will move the market expectations around a lot for the next Fed rate decision. And keep in mind, we have 2 readings of all data, 2 readings of CPI, 2 readings of the unemployment reports. We have 2 of everything. So the first reports, they're not going to be as big of a problem. The next following 2, as we get closer to September, that's going to more or less solidify a 50 basis point rate hike, or even as high as a 1% rate hike, because that's what Fed Jerome Powell said. He said if the data supports an unusually large rate hike, they would not hesitate to do that. So you got the backstory here. Long story short, if you didn't get anything out of that whole spiel, the markets are probably not going to move down too much, and they're probably not going to move up too much until September. We've already seen a very parabolic move to the upside, the best rally we have seen since November of 2020. So that's that. Now, let's talk about AMC more directly and what we can expect out of earnings. And I want to draw your guys' attention to this article and why this is actually a bullish thing. So, AMC Entertainment may report negative earnings. Know the trend ahead of next week's release. Now, why is it a bullish thing to me seeing this article and actually reading this article? Well, it's a bullish thing because when market expectations are low, it's easy for stocks to rally. Now, for an example, with Apple and Amazon, the earnings were not that good. I mean, they were decent, and Amazon actually had way better earnings than Apple, but they were decent. Or in other words, they could have been worse. Same reason why Google, Microsoft, and Facebook went up. Right? It wasn't because their earnings were stellar and they were perfect, but they could have been a lot worse. That's the key. Same thing with AMC stock. So if a lot of people are starting to go into this next earnings report on August 4th with the mindset of AMC, the earnings might be pretty bad. Well, if they're not that bad, or even if they're a lot better than what people expect, that could cause a very substantial rally. Now, this article says AMC Entertainment is expected to deliver a year-over-year increase in earnings on higher revenues when it reports results for the quarter ended June 2022. This widely known consensus outlook gives a good sense of the company's earnings picture, but how the actual results compare to these estimates is a powerful factor that could impact its near-term stock price. The stock might move higher if these key numbers top expectations in the upcoming earnings report, which is expected to be released on August 4th. On the other hand, if they miss, the stock may move lower. While management's discussion of business conditions on the earnings call will mostly determine the sustainability of the immediate price change and future earnings expectations, it's worth having a handicapping insight into the odds of a positive EPS surprise. Zacks consensus estimate. The movie theater operator is expected to post quarterly loss of 26 cents per share on its upcoming report, which represents a year-over-year change of positive 63.4%. And that is a good thing. The EPS still being negative, not a great thing, but it's a lot better than where it was. Now, revenues are expected to be 1.12 billion, up 151.5% from a year ago quarter. The consensus EPS estimate for the quarter has been revised 21.21% lower over the last 30 days to the current level. This is essentially a reflection of how the covering analysts have collectively reassessed their initial estimates over this period. Now, why this is a bullish thing? You want those low expectations. You want, in theory, to see revisions downwards heading into earnings that can surprise massively to the upside. The more these expectations go down, the greater likelihood of actually seeing an upside surprise beat actually becomes. And I want to point you guys in the direction of the movies that have really came out. You've seen a lot of movies in the second quarter that have been doing very well, and it's not just one movie here or there, it's a bunch of movies that continue to perform well for multiple weeks. Also, AMC has started the whole DoorDash delivery of popcorn, which is a high margin business. AMC also just reported they just had their busiest weekend in the last 2 years, dating all the way back to pre-COVID levels, busier than 2019. So when I put that together, it does not seem like the EPS estimates should actually be going down for AMC stock. There should be more bullish expectations for the stock. The fact that there is not, that leads me to be pretty bullish. Now, it says for the last reported quarter, it was expected that AMC Entertainment would post a loss of 63 cents per share when it actually produced a loss of 52 cents per share, delivering a surprise of 17.46% to the upside. Over the last 4 quarters, the company has beaten consensus EPS estimates 3 times. And that's important because, I mean, 75% of the time over the last 4 reports, the last year, AMC has beat the analyst estimates. And in this marketplace, you don't even necessarily have to beat, you just have to be better than what it could have been. And I think AMC stock could top all estimates. And I think that is a big reason why Adam Aron did say on the third I believe it was the last earnings report, Q1, that AMC would pounce on the short sellers, but only when the timing is right. The timing is right when AMC can post phenomenal earnings, when they can come out with some kind of dividend, some kind of catalyst to push the stock higher. And if you guys have not been watching this channel for a while, hopefully whoever you guys watch for your AMC content talked about this when it actually came out. What sparked this whole bullish rally back here, this was on a Thursday, July 7th, the stock actually rallied 15% off of this news that essentially Adam Aron would surprise the shorts and try to squeeze them out of their positions. We have something in store for us that will be very good coming on August 4th. The earnings numbers, well, that should just be icing on top of the cake. And that's really the biggest reason why I'm bullish for AMC. On top of everything else that we are seeing, you're also getting a lot of option trades that are very large, over $1 million single option orders that have come through over the last couple of days that point towards a bullish move over the next couple of months. And I think AMC is primed, not in just the sense of a fundamental rally, but even a more FOMO-induced kind of squeeze rally, right? Because a lot of people don't realize this, but brand awareness is key. Now, a lot of people know about AMC Entertainment, the actual business, but in stock market land, in the stock market realm of stocks, well, everyone knows about AMC. So there's a certain aspect of brand recognition there. And when AMC can actually move higher, I think upon earnings, that could trigger a whole new round of FOMO. And if earnings are that good, you might not see as much downside pressure, as many shorts coming in to short the stock, because after all, if the stock's fundamentally getting much better and even possibly get this, surprising with a positive EPS number, well, there's no short thesis left on AMC, especially if the Fed is going to slow down their pace of rate increases like they did allude to just on Wednesday. So when I boil this all down, what am I really expecting out of AMC? Well, I think it's very possible you could see a 20 to 30% rally on August 4th or the subsequent day after earnings. I think it's possible from there you could get a lot of investor confidence with the stock fundamentally, and you could see a bit of that FOMO rally. Now, we will talk about more a little bit in depth around 4 o'clock today what I will actually expect as far as, you know, the share price, because you guys got to remember we're still above the 50-day moving average. We are around the 100-day moving average, which is an indication of a bullish trend, a bullish reversal. Our low we hit was $9.70 per share. You're sitting at $14.53 per share right now. That's still dramatically higher, almost $5 higher than the low that we did hit, almost 50% higher from the low that we did set. So all in all, guys, I'm very bullish. And that, in a nutshell, is why I think most people should be bullish about AMC heading into earnings. I don't think there's a very high bar, especially with these downward revisions, and I think AMC has a lot in store for us over the next coming days and the next coming weeks. And specifically, even with the options premium, a lot of that premium has died down a lot, so there could be some very attractive trades heading into earnings. Obviously, not financial advice. Anything can happen. We could be surprised. Who knows? But I think it's pretty clear from what Adam Aron said, from what analysts are projecting for AMC, and what the overall business has been doing as far as movies and everything else, we're probably more primed for a rally than a drop for this upcoming earnings. And I'm very excited. So I was going to make this video over the weekend, but I did want to make this right now because honestly, I don't think right now is a bad time to get a trade for upcoming earnings with AMC next week, if that's something you guys wanted to do. Now, if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description of this video. Make sure you guys get your free stock with Webull, Moomoo, and Public. That is free 99. Make sure you guys take advantage of that, because who knows how long it'll last. And I've heard of people getting some very nice stocks all for free. So check that out if you guys have not already. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.